Kay. Tyvis, you just asked Mary Kay about the secondary breakdowns. We talked about it yesterday. It's something you've been harping on, as you mentioned, for 2.5 seasons here now. I mean, this is absurd. Two just ridiculous plays.
Absurd is an understatement.
Yeah.
Like, you thought, I take it back to Joe Woods, the Carolina game. Remember, I sat here after that Carolina game. Jay Crawford sat right there in that chair. And I said, you know what? This will never happen again. You only make that mistake one time because it almost cost you a game.
Yeah.
So, therefore, you would never make that mistake.
Yeah.
Boom, the Jets game happened.
Yep.
And I say, you know what? Good. It cost them a game.
Yep.
Now that it's cost you a game, 1,000%, you nip it in the bud. Then you go, I think they finished that season. I don't think we had any more. That's a lie. I think we did in the Buffalo game too.
Mm-hmm.
We had a nickel that didn't go over. Fact of the matter is, it can be solved just by communicating. And when I say communicating, I'm not talking like yelling to each other, because it gets loud, especially on third downs in that stadium. It gets loud over there. But if you come up with a hand signal, like if you say to me, hey, this is cover 2, this is cloud,
right.
and because the corner is just going to do what you say. As a safety, you look at your safety, first of all right, it goes like this. They call the play. Boom, you break the huddle, which I've never been a fan of the huddles anyway. I've always been a fan of everybody just turn and see the DC. He threw the signal and everybody know. That way you don't have to try to echo it out to all these guys. Everybody see it.
Right.
Anyways, they huddle up.
Why don't they do that? Why don't teams do that?
Because of Connor Stallions. Anyways, so they do their little huddle thing. You break the huddle. Boom. As a safety, you sit there, you wait for them to line up. Once they line up, you see what the formation is. You say, okay, we're going to play cover. We're supposed to play cover 2 to this formation. So you look at the safety, cover 2, boom. You look to your corner to your side, cover 2. You give him the signal, boom, boom. He give it back. All right, boom, we good. I know that we all on the same page.
It's very simple, Tyvis. Why is it not happening?
Tell me about it.
Tyvis, the crazy.
Tell me about it.
The crazy thing is, Tyvis, and every coach in the world and already said it. Hey guys, listen. If we all run the same play, we'll be fine.
If we all wrong, we all
right. All wrong. If you turn to the sideline and I say cover 3, like you said, the corners are going to play cover 3.
Correct.
So it may not be the perfect coverage for what they're running, but at least you won't have nobody running down the field wide open because somebody thought it was cover 2 and it was cover 3. Hey, if you make the call and you guys are all running the same thing, we can live to fight another down.
Can I see that? Let me see that chart again, because
Did you agree with Mary Kay on who's to blame for each of those plays?
The first one, Juan Thornhill. The second one, Denzel. Yes.
But Denzel took the blame for both, didn't he?
I don't know. I thought he took the
blame. He just said, put it on me. He didn't. You want the first breakdown and the second breakdown. This is the second one.
Let me see both of them.
This is the second one. This is the
second one is
Quentin Johnston touchdown.
Okay, see, this is the interesting thing. So at the beginning of those dots, I wonder how they're playing it, because I had this same issue back when the Jets game came. You see how this tight end is off in a gravedigger position?
Where is the tight end? It's hard for me to say.
That's 89, second from the end on the right.
Yeah.
You see how he's off?
Yeah.
No, not 89, 15, 81.
Oh, you mean 81?
81. You see 81.
Almost like a
full,
yeah,
okay, so this the thing. This be the question.
Yeah.
Do you count that as a back in the backfield, or is that empty to you? Because if that's empty, they might have an empty check. And this is the same thing that happened in the Jets game.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know how every coaches it different.
What do you think most coaches do?
To me, that's a back in the backfield. If in a
even though it's a tight end.
Yeah, if it's a grave digger, he's not going vertical. They never go vertical out of that set.
So he's not likely to get the ball.
He's putting that there for protection. That's what that is.
Gotcha.
So I would look at this as 3-by-1. And that, to me, is probably exactly what happened. Denzel looked at it, or everybody else looked at it and said empty, and Denzel said, no, that's 3-by-1. Or vice versa. They looked at it, and everybody else was like, this is 3-by-1. Denzel was like, it looked like it's not, because I just told you in the Jets game they did the same thing.
But I mean, even specifically, like.
But I'm just telling you how it can become a problem. But what fixes it is if you go tell him, hey, it's cover 3, we playing 3. they wouldn't have to worry about this. But the fact that you look at it, I can understand why somebody could sit there and say that's empty. So if it's empty, every team has an empty check. So he could have thought it was empty, and he went with that check. But everybody else was like, that's 3-by-1 because we treating that tight end as a running back in the backfield. So that's how you can get that's how you get confused on a play.
What was Denzel? Was Denzel picking up the tight end for a second here?
No, Denzel was playing 2. Everybody else looked like they was playing cover 3.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because you could tell it's cover 3 because number 9, Dale Pitt came down in the box, so he's playing 3 while number 1 is rolling to the post. Everybody else is playing cover 3, so Denzel looked like it was cover 2. That's what happened. So and I truly think that's what's going on. They looked at it. Somebody thought it was empty, and somebody thought it was 3-by-1. They got to clarify what that is.
I'm gonna tell you what.
And that right there is classified information.
Real
that
quick,
I just
so
told
Tyvis, that's the second one. Let's do the first one. Let's do the first one real quick because
the first one, just Juan Thornhill just went with Lamb McConkey because he was eating at that point. He tried to rob something. He got to be over the top of number 1. You're supposed to first of all, your landmark. Okay, he hit his landmark. Once you hit your landmark. And cover 2 is usually top of the numbers, right about where he's at. So what happened is, take it from the top. Oh no, stop it right there. Pause it. Okay. So when you're running cover 2 to this formation, you got the corner on the outside is going to be the reroute guy. He reroutes him inside and he sinks. He only comes to the flats when the ball is thrown to the flats. So you're supposed to carry it until something brings you down to the flats. That's the corner's responsibility. The nickel's responsibility, he is what they call a poach player. A poach player is you backpedal and you look at the quarterback. And when he sets his feet to throw, you stop and you got to drive. It's like a flat drive. Mm-hmm. The number 9 on this one, he would be they took a linebacker out on this one, so that's even better. So now your middle run-through player is number 9, which is a safety, which is what you really want. He's going to open the 3. He's going to always open the 3, and he's going to carry it vertically, and he only comes off if somebody stops. Like if 2 or somebody stops, boom, he don't have to carry it no more. But you want to be under that to put some air under the ball to allow your safety to have some time to deteriorate the throw. 12 is backside. What's going to happen with him is he's going to play it tight because that guy's coming to him. He essentially has to play both of these guys. And Martin Emerson has to reroute inside and he has to sink. He should carry it the whole way because he has nothing coming to the flats. There's nobody there but a running back. Right. And if the running back comes out, you let him throw it, then you come down and come tackle it. So with that being said, roll the dots. Boom, he's covered. Okay, boom. Oh, yeah. See, so the problem is Juan Thornhill, Dale Pitt did an excellent job. He's right where he needs to be under 2, so they're not going to throw it to Ladd because if he throws it to Ladd, that's a pick.
Yeah.
Juan's got to roll because you got to get over there. Like, that's your job. You got to get over there. You can't let 12 or 15. So it's on
that's
Juan.
Thornhill's.
It's on Juan, yeah.
Okay. So what was he thinking? He was just worried because McConkey been
McConkey was hot and they had a good chemistry. And he bent it, and it's something when that guy bends that route in front of you like that, it is very enticing to take it.
But why did Denzel? Denzel was staying with him there for a long time.
Yeah, Tyvis, you said Denzel doesn't come off unless there's flat responsibility.
He shouldn't come off unless the ball is thrown to the flats.
So Denzel should have carried, but it's on Thornhill for not being there.
Correct. It's a trail technique.
Denzel at some point is worried about 27.
I guess. Denzel at some point, all he's supposed to do is make him put air under the ball. Because he should be thinking to himself, if I'm in this trail technique, like if he put air under the ball, my safety should make that play. It's not his play to make. He's not necessarily carrying it the whole way. He's waiting until something takes him off and goes to the flat, which in this case 27 does at some point.
Good stuff, Tyvis. Good stuff.
Well,
great breakdown.
I appreciate it. That means I still got it.
And the thing I got a problem with is Juan Thornhill. I don't like when people come to Cleveland and start doing their own stuff.
I told you, it's enticing though. Like I've been in that situation where you're backpedaling and that guy bends it because you think in your mind cover 2. The hole is in the middle. Like you think like hey, my safety not there, so if he bends this, he gonna try to fire it as soon as he bends it. But Dale Pitt did an excellent job being there. Even if he did throw it, you got another safety. So let me explain it to you this way as well, how it kind of works a little bit. So when you're playing cover 2 at safety, you hit your landmark. To me, when I played it, it was a back pedal the entire way. Like you take off and you back pedal the whole way. You hit your landmark and you just go back. And the quarterback's shoulder, don't look at the eyes because they'll look you off. Look at the shoulder. If the shoulder's pointing your way, you just weave with the shoulder. If the shoulder's this way, you weave that way. So that way it always puts you in position to make a play. So if the front tip of Justin Herbert's shoulder was to the middle and he weaved with it, all right, that's fine. But you better be ready to break on that throw, which he didn't, and that's what happened. So there you go. And you need a good pass rush in cover 2 as well.
You're that right there just shows you the difference between you'll never win no Super Bowls or big games doing that. Like the margin of error is too close. Like you can give one play up like that. If you give up a play like that, it's just a first down. You could lose a Super Bowl. These guys are nowhere near. Like to have it happen twice.
Yeah.
Come on.
Inexcusable.
Come on.
Like I say, the second one I understand that, but that's.
But why are they refusing to?
It's a good question. That's a great question.
What is happening
I have
here?
no idea. I've always learned that the best defenses that play the game communicate. You think in Seattle we didn't talk? You think we didn't talk? You think
when you insure,
period?
shut up.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's on Jim Schwartz. Make it happen.
Y'all hold him to all these standards and all these
Make
other
it
things.
happen.
Jim Schwartz, literally, I was watching the show yesterday. Y'all was talking about y'all hate how the DBs celebrate after stuff, even when they down. Well, that's a rule. That's a Jim Schwartz rule. If you make a play,
stupid.
if you make a play, you better celebrate that play.
Well, that's on
with
him.
that being
When you're
said,
losing-
if y'all got that rule enforced, the hand signaling should be enforced
Facts.
as well.
That's a much more important rule. Communicate.
But it does make
Not
a lot.
celebrate.
It makes it when you see stuff like that. It makes a lot of sense. I always wonder why do we play so much man to man? Because it's simple. I don't have to talk to nobody. I got my guy, and unless he's in a bunch or a stack, I don't need to talk to nobody. I got this guy. When we run zone, stuff like this happen. It's because we don't talk to each other.
Insane. Great breakdown.